We will be taking a look at a proposed bill that will change how we change our clocks.
We will also be taking a look at this week's restaurant review. All that and more on Studio G.
Welcome to Studio G. I'm Justine.
And I'm Jonathan Corral, and thank you for joining us.
A proposed bill that changes the clocks backwards and forward will come to an end starting in 2023. Reporter Matthew Gwanga has more on the story.
The U.S. Senate passed legislation to make a permanent change to daylight savings. It was unanimously brought by a voice vote and is called the Sunshine Protection Act. Instead of changing the clocks twice a year, we would be in spring forward time forever. According to supporters of the clause, this change would encourage people to go outdoors later and reduce seasonal depression. Senator Marco Rubio is one of the bill's sponsors and is part of the support to have the change take place not until November 2023.
Again, we all went through that biannual ritual of changing the clock back and forth and the disruption that comes with it. And one has to ask themselves after a while, why do we keep doing it? Why are we doing this?
There has been some pushback with some sources telling Congress we should not have kids go to school in the dark. The House of Representatives still has to go over this hearing, and if it passes, President Joe Biden would have to sign it. I'm Matthew Gwanga, reporting for Studio G.
The solution to changing the clocks twice a year is around the corner, but people are split between having a permanent standard time or daylight savings time. We can agree that changing the clocks is a hassle, but we have to accept for a few months we would either start or end our days in darkness.
A former 5-acre horse ranch will be turned into a help center for the disabled. The Collaboration Center, a foundation focused on helping people with physical and mental disabilities, has acquired a 5-acre ranch that will be transformed into an all-encompassing help center that will provide therapy, training, clinical, and family services. The first phase of construction is expected to be completed by September and has a $12 million budget. Initial plans will include outdoor and rehab spaces, a developmental preschool, on-site vocational training, an autism assessment clinic, and more. Executive Director Linda Tatch estimates that the facility could help up to 10,000 families after completion. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Jonathan Corral. Hopefully the foundation is a success and will help families in need across Las Vegas.
In honor of Women's History Month, reporter Anna Meza concludes her series of women working in male-dominated industries. Today featuring Casey Frost, a single mom and experienced tractor-trailer driver here in Las Vegas.
Casey Frost began driving commercial trucks in her family business. But after a divorce, she quickly realized that raising 3 young girls as a single mom would require her to maintain the high-paying job and male-dominated job of driving trailers elsewhere.
I am a teamster for Las Vegas Paving. I drive tractor, a double side dump. So in my department, the side dump division, I am the only female out of about 50 other men. I am the only female in my division, and at Las Vegas Paving, I believe we have 5 women, and that's about it. Yeah. So probably about 150 to 200 drivers. There's maybe 6 or 7 women. Wow. Well, it's not easy. You know, it's not like you just get in your truck and you drive. It's taxing on your body. It's taxing on your nerves. Just driving period in Las Vegas is hard. Besides being in 105 foot of vehicle, you know. So I've earned my respect by being a good driver, by being equal to the other guys. I'm a mom of 3. I got 3 girls. Yeah, single mom. Yeah. So with this, joining the union, I saw I was going to be able to take care of my kids. I was going to be able to prepare for a future and have a career that I would be able to have a retirement pension out of. You know, I think I've taught them that, first of all, you don't need to have anyone else to make your life. It's up to you if you want to do it. I've taught them that you can be independent and take care of yourself.
Frost has 17 years working for her union, along with even more experience prior to joining Las Vegas Paving Corporation. According to a report by Statista, female truck drivers made up only 6.6% of 3.5 million drivers in 2018.
Next up, we're going to take a look into the life of a journalism professor with no journalism degree. I wonder who it is.
Favorite Hawaiian islands, state them in order. Number 1, Maui. Number 2, Kauai. Number 3, let's go Lanai. Country life, right? Not too bad. Big Island, beautiful. Probably would have to tie that for number 3. Oahu and Honolulu, sorry guys, number 4. Hey guys, Dave Norris here. Super excited to chat with you about me. My title is the Assistant Professor in Residence of Journalism and Media Studies, or something like that. So I have an education background, but I also have a broadcasting background. And UNLV was actually a great way to merge those two things that I was really passionate about. Because it gave me the opportunity to work with students that were keen on broadcasting, and also because we have the professional media facility, I was able to kind of continue working in that respect. I was the operations manager of KUNV for about 10 years. And between working at KUNV and between working with students, and while I was at UNLV, they were mostly paying for me to go back to school, so I got my doctorate, which I know afforded me the opportunity to join the faculty. So I'm one of the few people who has worked as a professional staff member for the university, as well as an academic member of the university staff. I'm a geek, I like geography, but I like orienteering. Like I'll go out and kind of like get lost in the woods and try to see if you can find stuff. I think that's just interesting if you can read an actual map, not just like GPS, Google Maps on your phone, but like you have a paper map and you got to figure out where you are. I think that kind of stuff is interesting. When I was 18 years old, I joined the Navy Reserve. Part of that was because my grandfather served in World War II and was a fighter pilot in the Navy, and I always thought, wow, that would be really great to kind of continue in that legacy. My uncle was in the Air Force. He was an officer, became a full bird colonel. So serving my country was something that I always wanted to do. When I was 21 years old, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And that was obviously something that nobody plans on, right? That's something that like sucks. There's no way around that. The downside to my military story is when I got cancer, unfortunately, because I was in the reserves and wasn't in active military, the Navy, they were at the point where it's like, okay, well, we appreciate your service, but we're going to release you from the rest of your time. That didn't necessarily change the trajectory of my life, but that experience, fortunately, number one, I'm okay, I'm healthy, have been in remission for years, so that's really great. But the experience of kind of living through that, of understanding how precious life is, right? And trying to find ways to kind of make as much of an impact as I can, because we might be blessed to live for 90 plus years, or you might be one of the unlucky ones who gets diagnosed with something tomorrow and only has 2 or 3 months left to live, right? But every day we have is precious, right? This has been Studio G. I'm Dave Norris. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, Dave, for sharing so much about your life and your maps. I wonder who we are going to have next on Who Is. Coming up after a break, Nick Todorovich gives us a look into this weekend's weather.
If you're a parent, you've done it all this past year. But the one thing you may not have done is take care of yourself. At Boys Town, we know that a parent's mental health is important too. Visit boystown.org/stressedout for great self-care tips for parents. You can even download an ebook to guide you and your family through self-care strategies. Because healthy parents are key to happy families.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Studio G. I'm Nick Todorovich, and I'll have your weather today. So first of all, if we look right now, it's 84 degrees, very sunny, very low wind speed, 5 miles per hour. We can see this trend continue this whole week and weekend, which we'll see later on. So now if we look at the valley temps, Summerlin comes in at the coldest at 74 degrees, along with Boulder City at 73 degrees. The rest of the valley is somewhere in the mid 70s, with Henderson and Sunrise having the high at 77 degrees. The weather headlines, very sunny. Make sure to wear your sunglasses. Don't go driving without your sunglasses, it might be hard to see. No foreseeable rain, which will lead to our first 90s of the year this weekend. If you have a pool, if you want to go to a beach club with your friends, be sure to do that because it's the first time of the year we can enjoy that. And then for our evening planner at 3 p.m., it'll be 84 degrees, which is our high for today. At 6 p.m., it'll drop to 82, 9 p.m., 73. And if you're out partying at midnight, expect 66-degree weather, which could be chilly, so bring like a hoodie or a jacket or a sweatshirt. And then for tomorrow morning, 59 degrees. If you want to go out for a jog, sunrise is at 6:36 a.m. And 59 degrees is chilly, so make sure to bring a hoodie, just like if you go out tonight at midnight. And then for the 7-day forecast, Thursday, 84 today, that's the high. The low tonight will be 54. But going tomorrow, we see a 7-degree increase to 91, and this low 90s weather will continue through the weekend at Saturday's high is 91 as well. So we'll see a little drop Sunday to 88 degrees, but then Sunday night to Monday morning, we see a 22-degree drop, which could mean that we're going to have some wind and maybe rain in the valley to cause this 22-degree drop. But after Monday, we'll see a slight increase, and next Wednesday, we go back up to 81 degrees. And coming up next, I have an interview with one of the most popular people from UNLV. Stay tuned.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future. In a world that's changing fast. For all of the things you may one day do. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do learn from your mistakes. And challenge yourself to grow. Do not be afraid. Or make decisions based in fear. Do it all with confidence and with kindness and strength. Do call your mom and ask her for advice. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing. I love you always, Mom.
Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm joined by UNLV Program Coordinator for Campus Activities, Ryan Romero. Ryan, thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I'm doing good. So we just had an event yesterday with 1,000 people, so I'm chilling right now.
That's awesome. So talking about events and talking about what you do, what inspired you to get involved with the UNLV campus and do what you do?
Yeah, so it's funny enough, I worked in admissions actually, and you were my student, helping you from high school into UNLV and admissions. I've been with UNLV for about 2013. Wanted to get involved day one, got involved with the Rebel Events Board, planned homecoming, helped UNLV break a world record at Premiere, was in admissions, now I MC kind of every event on campus and wear this very sequin jacket that's kind of become a staple piece of UNLV. I like creating memories for students here at UNLV.
Can we talk a little bit about the outfit? It's really drippy. So take me through it. How does it look?
Yeah, so it started off with one piece. It was just the jacket. I was like, oh, let me get this red sequins jacket. It's very UNLV with a scarlet. And then it went to shoes, and I have these ruby slippers, but the male version. And then it grew on to a silver jacket, and then a black jacket, and now silver shoes. So I have one pretty much for every occasion to match every outfit, depending on kind of what people want. They're like, oh, I have a black shirt, you can wear the red jacket, and vice versa. So sometimes I even do costume changes during whether it's live on air or at an actual event. So try to always keep people on their toes.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I remember when I was younger, you really left an impact on me and made me motivated to become a UNLV student. So I'm sure all of us appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
But as you become such a big person on campus, very well known, what are some of the hardships you've had to deal with while you're making that journey?
Yeah, I think it's trying to figure out the best experiences for students. So remembering that I was an undergrad, then a grad student, and now a staff member, and trying to figure out the balance of everything for students. One of probably the biggest hardships that happened was when I was in my senior year, I found out that I was HIV positive, actually. And it set me back a little bit, but then it was when I was vice president of the student body, and I wanted to collaborate with them. We actually did an event on campus to help kind of spread awareness about that.
So when you got that diagnosis, how did you not let it derail you and still achieve your goals and push your passions forward?
Yeah, so when I first found out, my mindset was either it can control me or I can control it. And day one, I was like, I'm going to control it. Talked to my advisors here at UNLV, kind of gave me some support, but I just went full force and was like, I know I'm really involved on campus. People look up to me, so how can I take that and channel it into an opportunity for students to really step outside of their own comfort zones?
Did you ever deal with any negative stigmas? I know some people of all ages look at people HIV positive as they're not humans. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with stigmas and getting judged by people even though you are a great person, great leader, and a great presence?
Oh, well, thank you. I think I have had some ups and downs with it. And I think the biggest thing is education. So I have a lot of people reach out to me because I'm HIV positive undetectable. Undetectable means that it doesn't affect me in any way. It's not transmittable to anyone. And I'm actually living one of the healthiest moments of my life right now. So just education, showing that it's not a death sentence. I think just talking about it, the more comfortable I am about it, the more comfortable other people are about it too. And I allow them to ask questions and kind of just dig into it too.
Yeah, it's really good that you are focusing on education and all of that. But just to wrap things up, there's recent research that they're finding up with a HIV cure using the umbilical cord blood and transplanting it for HIV and also for cancers like leukemia. What are your thoughts on this increase in medical technology and science?
It's cool how technology works out and how medication works out. I actually had a conversation about this with a few of my friends on if I would get the cure. And I think it's a complicated answer because right now I'm good, I'm healthy. I in 2019 ran 10 marathons and the HIV encouraged me to go and be a healthy lifestyle. And right now I'm good. I'd rather go to people that may not have the access to the best healthcare or may be older. It may, that HIV might be affecting them a little bit better. So my viewpoint is to get it to the people that are the most vulnerable and then kind of work our way through that. So once everyone that's most vulnerable is good, then that conversation kind of come about of me in that aspect. So I want other people to have it first.
That's an awesome mentality. That just kind of summarizes what great of a man you are and all of your goals and ambitions. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course, thanks for being here.
So after this break, Jacob Teller has an exclusive sit-down interview with UNLV Athletic Director Erick Harper. Don't go anywhere.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see.
Third line, please.
DEPRESSION.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale. Bipolar? Sorting out a mental health concern is not something to attempt on your own.
Anxiety. I thought so.
Like many health conditions, help for mental illness takes professional diagnosis and treatment. And the sooner you seek treatment, the better.
Look at that. 6,000 steps and PTSD.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. Find out what to do. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
You know, your well-being changes, you know, from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity, because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
UNLV Athletics is shifting the culture into a competitive program that excels in every way possible. With the newly appointed athletic director, Erick Harper, the plan set in motion is to push student athletes academically and athletically during their collegiate careers and beyond. UNLV Sports is building off of the community through sponsorships and funds such as the Rebel Athletic Fund that was created in 2021. With all the support surrounding the community, UNLV Athletics is bound to elevate themselves to the next level. As Las Vegas continues to grow into a sports mecca, now is the time to rise to the occasion. Today, Studio G is accompanied by the Athletic Director of UNLV Athletics, Erick Harper, and we are all grateful to have you on our show today, Harp. First off, can you just tell me about how it feels to be the Athletic Director of a program that is turning into a sports mecca?
You know, it's pretty special, pretty interesting. This city that we have here in Las Vegas is, to your point, sports mecca. It's so special to be able to engage in, NFL, NHL, WNBA, obviously Las Vegas Aviators. It's a special city with a lot of sports, and it just doesn't fall to just your traditional sports. You think about UFC and obviously all the other championship sports activities that come to the city of Las Vegas.
Most definitely. And then you have mentioned a newfound commitment to student athletes on campus and after college. Can you tell me a little bit more about that whole program?
Well, our student athletes, they all have a expiration date as it relates to sports and their competition days. So you look at what we call a Rebels Go Pro program, and it's all about life after sport. So we have to prepare our student athletes for life after sport. And whether it's working within that sport, which, I was very fortunate to be able to do, but it's preparing them to be leaders of tomorrow, to take what they have learned as being part of a team and competing and taking that to the next level, whether it's a Fortune 500 company or whether it's them starting their own entrepreneurial company as it relates to what they want to do in their profession, to be able to influence the next generation of young people coming through.
Perfect. Yeah, life after sports is definitely an important thing, and I'm glad that you guys are working on that as well. When it comes to community involvement, I've heard about, the Build a Bed program or foundation. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, it's a program that our student athletes, it's very near and dear to their hearts. Excuse me. And what it works into is you're building beds for underprivileged youth that are either currently sleeping on the floor or 2 or 3 to a bed. And no one should have to sleep on the floor. If we can, do our part to minimize the number of people that are sleeping, young kids that are sleeping on the floor. So that Build a Bed project, we're going to, normally it's at their facility, but this time around, we're going to do it in a parking lot at the Thomas and Mack Center. We're going to invite all of our donors, season ticket holders, as well as the campus community, deans, the different colleges, students to come out on April 30th, 2022, starting about 7 a.m., and we're going to build 100 beds. To build those 100 beds, it's going to be about $25,000 in donations that we will receive. To build those beds, each bed is about $250 a piece. So, and then to engage that, we're going to engage the Las Vegas Raiders, Las Vegas Aces, the Las Vegas Aviators, UFC, all the different professional sports organizations around Las Vegas will come out and be a part of the event.
That'll be a major event for UNLV Athletics, and I'm looking forward to that as well. To wrap things up with one more question, how do you plan to cultivate an environment that is welcoming to not just players and coaches, but the staff as well?
Well, an environment that everyone knows is cared about and their opinions are welcomed. And we're a department that will be open-minded, looking to be very, very innovative in what we do, and also make sure that everyone understands and enjoys that when they come to UNLV campus, they're excited about being here. They want to be here. They want to support young people, and not just the student athletes, all of our students on the campus of UNLV. It's about making an impact in their lives and influencing them for the leaders of tomorrow.
That's great. And, I'm going to be a fan of the Rebels for my entire life, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have coming up for the entire program. But thank you again, Harp, for being on our show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, coming up, Molly Peters takes us to Chinatown for this week's restaurant review. Don't go anywhere. Studio G will be right back.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our technical skills, our math, our engineering skills. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our organizational skills, our problem-solving skills. You're going to need our determination, our honesty, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see.
Third line, please.
DEPRESSION.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale. Bipolar? Sorting out a mental health concern is not something to attempt on your own.
Anxiety. I thought so.
Like many health conditions, help for mental illness takes professional diagnosis and treatment. And the sooner you seek treatment, the better.
Look at that. 6,000 steps and PTSD.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. Find out what to do. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
EDC Las Vegas is just under 2 months away, and they dropped their lineup last night. Nick Todorovich has more on America's biggest rave.
May 20th, the rave community will unite and party at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. EDC Las Vegas is just around the corner, and last night they dropped their star-studded lineup. Friday features Alan Walker, the Diesel, also known as Shaquille O'Neal, and the Australian superstar Timmy Trumpet. Saturday will showcase EDM royalty. Tiesto, Deadmau5, and DJ Snake will all be performing that day. And to wrap things up, on Sunday you can expect hardcore dubstep as Excision and Subtronics will leave your next door for days to come. For Studio G, I'm Nick Todorovich.
All general admission EDC tickets are sold out, but general admission plus tickets start at $559 and VIP tickets start at $779. Be sure to visit edclasvegas.frontgatetickets.com for more details.
It's Thursday, and it's time for this week's restaurant review. Studio G reporter Molly Peters takes us over to a restaurant that features a modern Korean take on traditional American food.
For this week's restaurant review, I headed on down to Shanghai Plaza, where I found the best Korean hot dog place, Crunchies. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Crunchies is the perfect spot for affordable, deep-fried heaven. First, you order one of their 10 different dogs, ranging in price from $1.99 to $4.99. If you don't like anything you see on the menu, you can always customize your own for a few extra dollars. Your food is then quickly made. While you wait, you can start deciding what kind of toppings you want. Some of them may seem like strange combinations, but trust me, they're all really good. I ordered the mozzarella and sausage hot dog, which I then had dipped in sugar and topped with the number 2. The number 2 has ketchup, cheese mustard, sweet chili, and then, of course, Parmesan cheese. Unfortunately, Crunchies does not currently offer indoor seating, so we ended up sitting on the curb outside. My cousin Rebecca ordered the potato dog with every single topping. Just listen to this thing crunch. Next time, I'm definitely getting what she got. Just look at those crispy potatoes covered in sauces. Yum. For Studio G News, I'm Molly Peters.
I've been to Crunchies myself, and it's really good.
Oh yeah, it looks like a place to check out, definitely. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm Jonathan Corral.
And I'm Justine Verstiga. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday for more Studio G.